Hey guys, so today we've got a review of the 2013 Z-95 Headhunter. So I picked this set up used, so you'll see a couple of pieces are in not great condition, like this little dish piece here. But other than that, it's fully complete, and I'll be doing a review today. So this set, once I built it, was actually a lot bigger than I thought it would be. As you can see, here's my hand. Like, it's a lot bigger than I expected, especially considering that it just fits one minifigure and it's like a single figure fighter jet. It's really quite big, especially if I chuck a figure next to it. You can see the scale is absolutely massive, which I'm not sure how canonically correct that is. It does look pretty big in the Clone Wars, but this big, I'm not sure. So anyway, starting off with the ship itself, you can see we've got a very simple design. It's simply just a wing and a very long nose section. So I like this design here with the dark kind of burgundy red. I'm not sure the exact color. It's like a very blood kind of burgundy red, which I quite like. They've used the similar colors on like the attack shuttle from 2009, I think. So overall, the set looks pretty cool in the color scheme. And it on the bottom, you can see we've got landing gear. That's what I was resting it on. And this is the kind where it just folds up like this, just with the ratchet joints. And then on the sides, we've got large wing pieces and plate pieces that make up the wings in two pieces. That's then covered in some tile detailing. And these are just connected in 3 points along here with Technic pins. Then we've got the kind of almost X-Wing style blasters on the wings, as well as the thruster modules, which are built up with the similar ring pieces to that attack shuttle again. And we also have stickers here, which are for the intakes, I would believe, like air intakes, or I don't really know how it works in space. Then we've got the thrusters here, which have nice trans orange red pieces, which are really quite vibrant. And then we've got the main section here. So this uses a canopy piece, obviously, that just comes up. There's no sliding thing or anything like the V-19. And then there's room for one minifigure in there, if you can see. So he sits in there just on tiles, so there's nothing to hold him in, which is a bit of a letdown, especially since the swooshability of the ship is really, really great. Especially as a kid's toy, obviously, that's what it is. So he can rattle around in there quite a bit. So it would be nice to have a simple 1x2 in there just to attach him even on the back, on the top studs of his legs, these ones. Then it would be easier to take in and out. I think something like that would have been nice. It's easy to modify if you wanted to do that. But I'm just reviewing the set, how it came. So there's some nice detailing in there. There's supposed to be a sticker on there that unfortunately I don't have. It's just a console piece kind of sticker. And then we've got the nice tan pieces here to simulate, like, I don't know, comfiness or whatever. Then we've got this kind of cool looking design. These are just the same build 3 times, 2 on these little hinge pieces, which gives it a cool profile from this angle. And then around the back, we've got the same piece, except in opaque white, again with a sticker on. As you can see, mine's not in perfect condition, but it adds a bit of detail. I think it would look pretty boring if this was just plain white. So I think the use of that large sticker is necessary there. So within this compartment, we've got the only storage in this entire ship, even though despite its size. And you can also see we've got the firing pin, I guess you would call it, the activator for the large missile, which we will get to later. And in here, we've just got a little sled that is actually surprisingly held in there quite nicely, despite no studs again. But the design makes it so it's held relatively snug within there. So on that, you get a blaster and some binoculars for the pilot, and that just sits in there and closes. And you can hear it rattles a little bit, especially side to side. So that is okay. It doesn't rattle as much as the figure, but it still rattles a little bit. So you could, again, if you wanted to, build some studs up inside there, just to help it stick better. That's just a 1x2 grey, I believe, or 2x2 grey, I'm not sure. So then around the back, we've got this panel here, similar to like X-Wings and most other single-person starfighters from LEGO. So they've just put some attempts at greebling in here, and this nice kind of hood piece with these, I think it's technically 2x2 corners in the walled tiles. So that's nice, and you can see the engines look really cool from back here with these trans orange pieces, and I think they're regular trans orange. I'm not perfect on my LEGO colors, but they've got like kind of a pink hue to them. It's not really showing on camera. No. But yeah, in person they've got kind of a pinkish hue, especially when light goes through them. But yeah, they look really good. The engines look pretty good. They do look a tad bit weird where they shrink down here and then go larger again. But I think it works, especially with the ridged 2x2 round here. So, looking at it from the side profile, we can see that it is really, really long. And there is a bit of gapping along here, as if we just take this one piece off, we can see that it is in fact hollow inside of here, which is fine, and you would never really notice unless you look at it directly from the side with light coming through it. But other than that, it looks really cool, and as I said, the swooshability is absolutely excellent on this ship. Like, you can spin it around and all that, and the play feature is really good on this. So obviously this was before the time of stud shooters or anything. So if we flip it up, you can see, and before spring-loaded missiles as well. Well, this is technically spring-loaded, but not the little trans clear ones. So you can see we've got one of the large rubber missiles in here. I'll show you that. Yeah, so one of these ones. These are really, really awesome, and this ship's really cool because of this play feature. So you can swoosh it around from where I was holding it from the back and have your thumb under here, say, ready to fire this. And it is really good. So it fires like forward of the ship and down. So it fires like that. Which is really cool for like striking targets and that. So overall, the play features of this set are pretty cool. It is a bit large, so I see why it cost quite a bit back in the day, even though it's just one ship. It is very large, and overall I think it's really, really good, especially as like for a play ship, because compared to some of the larger ships like the frigates and that, they're pretty fragile, especially around the plating and stuff. But this is like incredibly robust, and you can fly it however you want. So great as a kid's toy, and it does look really good as a display piece as well if you like put it at an angle and build a stand for it. So the figures from this set come from I can't remember the name of the arc. Is in the Clone Wars where they fight each other, and it's all Pong Krell's fault. So of course you get Pong Krell, the figure, and he looks really, really cool. So he's got the standard minifigure legs and torso, as well as the extra torso piece. So you can see he's got like standard Jedi robes, which look pretty cool if you want to build like custom Jedi minifigures. Then they look pretty good. Let's move a bit more into the light. Yeah, so you can see they look really good. Then you've got the top piece, which is all a single molded piece plus some arms. So that gives his head, as you can see there, looks really cool, captures it really well, especially the like fat around his chin and that. So as much as he is a evil Jedi, he still looks really cool in LEGO. And I really, really like this Clone Wars arc, especially the clones like rebelling, well, not rebelling, kind of rebelling against their Jedi General. So it was really cool to get him, and this is the only set it's come out in. So yeah, and then next up we've got another 501st. So these were common for the time. They came out in the AT-RT as well, and so they look really good. The print on the torso and that doesn't look quite as good as the updated one. Obviously, in the 501st Battle Pack, but nonetheless they still look pretty cool, and it's still a shame that they never found the middle ground, so they went from blue arms to white arms. It would have been nice if they did like dual molding or a patch on the upper shoulder to be more accurate to the 501st, but both look good in my opinion. And then the other exclusive figure to this set was really quite cool, was the 501st pilot in the phase 2 kind of pilot helmet. So a custom mold just for this set. It's only appeared in this set and in 501st markings, unfortunately. And so, surprisingly to me, I didn't know his torso print is also exclusive. So it's not just a standard pilot's one from the Clone Wars era. It's got some very slight blue markings here. So as opposed to like yellow or whatever, I think they're just black on the normal Clone Wars pilots. We get blue on here, so that's something that I learned, was that these are actually new. Well, exclusive to this set, sorry. And then we've got the helmet as well, which is pretty cool. So we've got the large blue markings on the side. And the thing that I found weird is this side profile. So as you can see, we have the large nose kind of breathing apparatus piece, but it just does stick out a lot further than I thought. So you can see from this, it kind of looks like a duck or something. But from the front, it looks really good. It's just a bit longer than I expected it to be. So then you can see we've got more blue markings here, and the large head visor kind of piece looks pretty cool. So that's like molded, obviously, and just printed black. It's not dual molded or anything. I believe this was before the time of dual molding. But nonetheless, it looks pretty cool. It would have been nice to get some leg printing on this guy. Obviously, we did get leg printing on the 501st. So it would have been nice to get some leg printing on this guy, even just plain leg printing, because I'm not sure that they have the blue markings on their legs. But that does look pretty cool. Cooler than plain legs, at least. So that would have been cool to see. Yeah, so overall, I think this set is a really good set. It's quite expensive now, I think, to get new. Well, obviously, sealed in box, it's more expensive even, yeah. But this is definitely a set you should pick up and add to your collection if you get a chance, especially if you find a good deal on it used in relatively good condition with all the figures. Because I think just having, like, even though he's not worth that much, having one of these figures, because I really like the arc and I like pretty much everything Clone Wars, is just good to have. And the 501st pilot is a must, because I love collecting clones, and so he only comes out in this set, and so I thought it was worth getting the set as well. And it did surprise me, as I've said, with a couple of features, like his helmet's a bit different than I thought, and just the sheer scale of this set. I believe it's only 300 odd pieces, but it uses relatively large pieces. Like, I believe this is a 16 long or something, so that just gives you a scale of the size of this set. And it uses the large wing pieces, even though the wings are quite small comparative to the rest of the ship. So it's absolutely massive, as I said. And yeah, I think it's a really cool set. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And don't forget to like, and see you in the next one.